up, people? I am about to go run. It is early in the morning-ish. I think I'm at about 7 in the morning. I got up at about 5:45, 5:30 today. I've been feeling a little tired recently. I had a nice weekend downtown in Chicago for the 4th. I'm gonna try to enjoy this run as much as I can. I've been running like 6 miles the past few days, which is starting to get me back into my normal mileage area. I need to run a little bit more for that to be normal, but that's the case. Oh my God. Are these birds? Wow. They're loud today. I like enjoying my little time before I run, after I have my coffee, just relax a bit before I get going. It is nice to enjoy the weather until it gets, it's gonna get really hot, so I can't enjoy it for too long. But it's nice to have a slower start to my morning because I feel like my days are so jam-packed that, I don't know, it's just kind of nice to slow things down a bit. If you do anything to relax in the mornings, let me know in the comment section down below. Alright, I gotta do the thing. I'm gonna go run in a circle. Well, I guess out and back. Kind of circle, semicircle, I don't know. I'm gonna go. I'll be right back. Oh, what's up? So real quick before I do some strides, the topic of this video is about the skill that everyone's losing. Honestly, I can't remember the skill. Maybe forgetting has something to do with it. So I'm gonna go do some strides. It's important to acknowledge the fact that warm-up strides are a thing. I didn't get those shots in, but doing some warm-up strides before you go will get your legs nice and flush. And beforehand, dynamic stretching is huge. I acknowledged it in my last video, but do some dynamic stretches, which include things like, actually, I'm not saying a stride is a dynamic stretch, but it's a dynamic movement. It's something that's quicker than your easy run pace. So that'll get you ready to get running so that you don't exactly, pull anything. Personally, I'm not gonna say that you're gonna pull something if you don't do a stride. I just think that doing strides helps get you warmed up more than if you don't. Part. So I was inspired by Thomas Frank's video from a while ago where he talked about the skill that everyone's losing. And I wanted to make this because when's the last time you haven't given into Googling something? When you are in a situation where you can't remember something, when is the last time you didn't use the crutch of Googling something to just get yourself out of it so that you didn't have to think about it anymore and you just Googled it? I'd look up the statistic, but honestly, I can't Google it. So, well, one, because I'm recording with my phone, and two, because I don't know if there's a statistic on that. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I know people are losing their ability to think in a way of just pushing through that sort of lack of knowing and trying to think instead of Googling it, and that's kind of a problem. But right now I can't Google myself out of being hungry, so I'm going to go and fix that.
What we do here is go back.
That was absolutely delicious. There was some pulled chicken that I had on top of the eggs that I usually do. It was so good. I mean, I just usually have eggs, ham, stuff like that. Anyways, my thoughts on the topic for this video continued would be, honestly guys, if you ever thought of the last time where you're thinking of something and you can't get it out, it's right on the tip of your tongue, or you're having a conversation with someone about a certain actor or somebody who's famous, and then you go and look them up. I think you understand what I'm trying to get at. If you have the internet and have access to the means to looking them up, you're going to go and use it. And in the situations where you don't have it, you're going to just kind of give up. There's something to be said about the fact that we constantly are Googling things. I'm not saying that Google is a bad thing. I'm not saying that having access to information is a bad thing. My point here is that there's a mental crutch that we're really using right now in the modern world that we didn't have access to before, and that's making ourselves a little weaker mentally and a little more susceptible to giving in when things get even minorly tough. And on top of that, we're not training our brain to be able to think for itself. We always are making the situation happen where we have the crutch. I mean, even for students, right? They have exams to make sure that they know that information when they need to pull from it, but that's like short-term memory because people just memorize things for exams. In the workforce, you usually are able to Google it. Unless you're in some sort of business meeting where it'd be embarrassing to look it up, you're going to look it up. And that's not exactly the greatest thing in the world. Sure, you know concepts and those sort of things off the top of your head because you need to, but most of the time, basic information is just consistently Googled. Same with the fact of we always use a calculator. We're not able to do simple math in our head anymore. I think there's a skill that everyone's losing when it comes to just being able to think for themselves and not have the mental crutch of a Google search or a calculator to bail you out of it. And this issue has me pretty worried, and not like worried in the sense that I think a lot of bad things are gonna happen, but worried in the sense that I think there might be a brain drain regarding productivity and creativity in the world. And that's because there might be a lack of problem-solving skills that comes from this constant use of searching on the internet for anything, and that crutch is going to make people just not have as much of a problem-solving skill set. Now you may be asking yourself the question, Demetri, what is the way that we can solve this issue? And I'd tell you the answer if whatever that's happening over there isn't happening. I mean, I think someone's cutting wood. I don't really know. And now there's a plane. There's the plane now. And now there's two things. All right, I'm just gonna relax here against the wall. Basically, what you need to do in order to solve this issue is pretty simple. Stop looking things up so often the second it becomes a problem for you. If you need to solve something, take some time and try to figure it out with what's in your brain. All the neurons up there can do it for you. Now, I know there are gonna be some situations where you can't, so I have a solution for that. There is something that Thomas Frank brought up in his video, which is essentially the 15-minute rule. The way he described it in the video, a friend of his is working at a company where they set up the 15-minute rule so that if you think even in the smallest chance that you can solve an issue with your brain rather than asking for help or looking it up, you need to do that first. Then once 15 minutes are up, go and try to look it up or ask someone for help. That way you can still look it up if you don't know the answer to the question, while at the same time you are going to solve the issues that we're finding regarding, I feel like there's gonna be a creative brain drain on this country or even in the world, because when you are never able to problem solve, you're not gonna be able to be creative in some ways. I think that's an issue. I'm not sure if there's any sort of correlation between the two, but I'm thinking that there's gonna be a brain drain regarding productivity, creativity, and everything that you find with what comes from really good problem-solving skills. And looking things up all the time isn't really a problem-solving skill. It's more just finding a solution. I'm really curious how this level of instant gratification from searching things is going to affect people's ability to do a lot of things in the future. And I want to see how that goes, but in the same sense, I really don't. So if you guys could, please try to use the 15-minute rule or anything like that so that you can problem solve more and not always have looking things up on the internet as a crutch. It'll help your brain and you'll honestly be happier for it once you find yourself probably a little more cognitively sharp. So with that being said, guys, that's the topic of the video. I really appreciate you checking out the vlog. The vlog has been doing really well recently. Last week's vlog was really nice. Thank you so much for all the support about reaching 1,000 subscribers. I am so excited to get back into making more videos for you guys. I took some time off going into the 4th of July weekend slash up until that Monday. This is Tuesday, so I'm a little behind on my usual schedule, but I'm really excited to make more videos for you guys, and you are just amazing. With that being said, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.